You need to use your voice.
You got to use your voice. Oh my God. We have a 2-woman show that is just
right here and right
already
now.
born. We're just here to embody it together.
You're listening to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast with Suzanne Sole, episode 39.
Hey, all you sparkly motherfuckers, and welcome to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast, where we get into the holy drama the healing and spiritual awakening journey can be. I'm your host, Suzanne Sole, comedian, lifelong spiritual student, and I'm sharing some of the glittery gems I've learned along my journey that have helped me, and that I hope help you too. Speaking of gems, in this episode, I'm joined by the electric, the wondrous, the joy-infused Amy Steinberg. If you've ever been around New Thought spiritual spaces, or if you've ever searched for soul-stirring music that's also wildly funny and real, chances are you already know Amy's work. Amy is a multi-talented powerhouse, a singer-songwriter, performer, visual artist, newly licensed New Thought minister, playwright, and comedian. She's built a vibrant career blending pop rock and folk with spiritual wisdom, delivering performances that are part heart revival, part comedy, and full-on soul healing. Her music has uplifted countless people across the country in churches, festivals, and stages of all kinds. Now, I want to tell you how my connection with Amy came about because it's kind of magical. You may have heard me talk about my show, the Spiritual Awakening Comedy Cabaret, a one-woman musical sketch, stand-up comedy drama extravaganza about my spiritual journey and the wild and crazy ride of transformation and awakening. Okay, so that's the backstory. So Amy and I had been circling each other socially for a long-ass time because of our involvement in New Thought spiritual centers, which I have been attending for a gazillion years, as well as served at a couple of times as music director. So we have a lot of the same friends. And at some point, we became social media friends. So I would get to see all her fun posts and the cool stuff she's been up to through the years. And so recently, I saw that she had created a one-woman show with a spiritual theme like I have, called Ministar Cosmic Soul Revival, a performance art, poetry, comedy, music piece inspired by a dollhouse about her birth story and a journey through the rooms of her soul. And you know, if you're an artist and you see someone doing similar work as yours, sometimes at first you might be like, well, gee, will I still be special? And spoiler alert, we're all special motherfuckers. And we're all special motherfuckers. But I actually had the thought, wait a minute, what if we came together so we could support each other and share our resources? Okay, I may have had the other thought for like a millisecond. But anyway, I was like, I haven't seen anyone else doing shows like ours anywhere. So we could share and encourage and inspire each other. Because, first of all, she looks like she is a frickin' blast. And I was right. And then I thought, and maybe, just maybe, she might want to be a guest on the Spiritual Shit Show with Suzanne Sole podcast. So I took a leap of faith and I reached out to her. Not only did she tell me how happy she was that I reached out, she was like, yes, queen, let's connect and collab. And she told me she'd also been enjoying my posts and that she would LOVE to be on my podcast. And I was like, holy kismet, Batman. I was tickled pink. But then my second leap of faith not only brought this new connection into my life, it gave me a new soul sister. Now you might be like, how? And then I would be like, well, let me tell you. So she tells me she's traveling to Ocala, Florida, to do a fundraiser for the Posse Music Festival and speaking at the Ocala Center for Spiritual Living the next morning. And then she says, gee, it'd be so fun if you came out. They're such a great group. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it. So I booked myself a room in Ocala and I drove up there the next day. And we hit it off like gangbusters. It was like we were old friends. We just clicked. And it was really cool. And major bonus, I got to see her perform her music. Y'all, she is so freaking talented and fun to watch and sing along with. And she's just a bundle of joy. And then she invited me to sing with her at Ocala Center for Spiritual Living the next morning, where I got to meet Rev Cindy Grimes and her awesome community. Shout out, Ocala. Such a fucking cool story, right? So, Obs, Amy and I talked our faces off. So here's the first part. Let's hit it. Amy Steinberg love. Amy, I am I'm so excited that you're here. And I am now such an incredible fan. I was a fan from far away, but now I'm a fan up close.
I'm a fan too. I didn't know I was supposed to be until she picks up the microphone at the karaoke and starts singing Al Green. And I mean, I was just like jaw on the ground, like it was just incredible. And then it's crazy how aligned our paths are. It's wild. Like it's really cool.
It's incredible. It's very incredible. And, I was doing my homework on you. And what an incredible discography you have. Oh my God. Like, if you have not listened to Amy's songs, they're on YouTube. I found them on YouTube. And I also bought a CD.
Oh, man. Whatever.
But you're such a great songwriter.
Go on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, stop.
What is it in particular that you like about my songwriting?
Oh my gosh, I loved all of them. And it was like, there wasn't one bad album. You have like, 6 of them out there?
Gosh, you're such an evolution, really. If you listen to like, did you happen to find the Amy Steinberg Band? 2 records in 1999 and 2000, I believe. Amy Steinberg Band, which I was kicked out of, which I am weirdly proud of, that I was in my own band, like that I'm that awful. That's terrible.
So I looked on your website and you are a Ministar.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. You can come to me for counseling.
And you are also a star about it.
Shining my light.
You need to use your voice.
You got to use your voice. Oh my God. We have a 2-woman show that is just
right here and right now.
Born. We're just here to embody it together. I don't know how it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But okay. So I'm just going to say this. If anybody loves you and knows me at all and is listening to this, they will love this. That on the way home from Florida after meeting Suzanne, I asked ChatGPT to come up with 10 really good ideas for a 2-person TV show about bluesy spiritual singers. And Chachi came up with like crazy ideas. I mean, I don't know that we loved any of them, but just the fact that I love this woman this much, that I'm just like, but I don't know why I mentioned, just the idea of like creating together and, shining our lights. Cause
yes.
Same journey. We're on the same journey.
And I feel the same way. Like we're going to get into it. She's so incredibly multi-talented. And just a total diva.
I hate to turn it back on you again, but national tours, all the things, like you have lived this dream that I'm sort of that I wrote the show about being like a professional actress. Like it's a massive accomplishment, Suzanne.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mazel. I'm amazed by you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to get into the show. I just kind of want to start a little bit further back because I want to talk about the show. And so you came up in Boston, New York area.
I mean, we're going all the way there. I smoked
you don't want to?
A lot in the 70s. I don't remember anything.
Okay, let's do this. Okay.
I was born.
So she was born
in a small Jewish town
on 48th Street.
I'm a middle child, if it's not that obvious.
So but you have theater training. You studied
theater from, I'm curious about your, everything that I say about myself because of our aligned, paths.
Yes.
But I went to theater camp. Did you ever go to any of those?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
We were from Chicago. People didn't really do that.
Chicago people, but because you probably had stuff
They
going
had it
on,
in school,
right? It
and
was
then
in, yeah.
yeah.
We didn't have, I grew up in like Fort Myers in Sarasota, Florida. We didn't have
Oh, okay.
theater summer camp, right?
Amazing.
But the fact that I went to theater summer, you know what I mean?
I love
Like
it.
upper middle,
Upper
spoiled yet
middle.
neglected.
Yeah, but you know what? Like you needed that, right? You needed that expression.
Oh my God, yeah. And it's like where the dreams were born and also where like the rejection was born and like not enoughism and then not getting, there was like this fancy group of singers in camp.
Yes.
And I didn't even get a call back.
Stop it.
And I approached the casting director and I said, because I was sure that my like version of Big Spender was like,
I'm sure it was
I remember the
mind-bending.
hoops. I remember the hoops I was wearing. I was like 10, right? And I was like, why didn't I get a call back? And he was like, there is nothing special about your voice.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you.
Yeah. It was weird. It was like he was speaking another language. I was like, home as says what? I don't understand. What do you mean? Like I have the best voice. What did you hear?
Best voice.
What did you hear?
I think I was that I was loud.
It was probably it's like it reminds me a little bit of like that scene in Beaches when Bette Midler's like da 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 and she's a little kid,
Yes.
Like, that's kind of how I was.
The story of.
I was like, yeah, that's the glory of. It was me. Like I'm really funny and I'm cute.
Oh my God, that's all true. That gentleman that said that to you had no sense of humor, and he was obviously a miserable person because
I don't. Yeah, I and like I just don't think I was quite enough, and I just needed to keep working
going.
And honing my ear. You know what I mean? Like it's a craft. You know that.
Yes.
I can hear that you're singing. Like you worked at it, and know there's plenty of people along the way who also told me how. I'm sure people who like encouraged me, but you always remember that like that critic, from when you were whatever. And so theater camp and then high school, performing arts high school, which in my opinion probably like saved my life. Did we talk about high school?
I think
did you go to a normal high school?
Yeah, I went to a regular public school.
You had a really good theater.
Yeah, they had a very nice theater department for sure.
Yeah, and you were like Sandy in Grease.
I was
right?
Sandy in Grease.
Come on, you guys. Like if you're watching, like I've totally been your Rizzo.
Perfection.
So anyway, yeah. The bestie that is new. I'm so excited to meet
Vice versa. I just want to just really quickly make mention of something that you said that I thought was really poignant, which was, the rejection or the things that were said to you that really were kind of disappointing actually pushed you to become better at your craft. And I just love that.
I mean, you probably have seen that little clip that I posted about, I say something like, my mother always said, don't be ridiculous. And so I don't know if I'm ridiculous or if I'm just trying to piss my mother off. It's kind of the same thing. Like, am I just a singer to try to prove that wrong?
Right.
Or am I just, I knew I was a singer. You know what I mean? Like, makes one half does the other. Right.
Yeah, I became good out of spite.
Right. I'm good because to piss you off. I don't know. Like, it's always like, which way do you want to look at a thing?
Yes.
So, and that's, New Thought has just totally brainwashed me. Just look at the good.
I love that. No, I love it because I do believe everything is for us 100%. And so that was actually what I wanted to ask you next is, so you were coming up in this theatrical direction. And then next thing you know, now you're a New Thought minister and of course, theatrical. And what drew you to New Thought and how did that all come about where you
really
got into it so much?
People talk about being called, this idea of like being called. I think it's obnoxious. And also I was called like obnoxiously. Just to New Thought. I won't say I was called to ministry, although I was called to ministry. In fact, I was hired without a ministerial license, like that church in Asheville that I told you about, but they're not a New Thought church. Didn't work out, lost the gift right before the pandemic. And then decided after that, like, hell, what else am I doing? Like, I might as well, and the divine alignment of seeing James Mellon, who's my teacher at this conference that I was the music director at, and him saying, come on, let's do it. Come on board. Like last minute, he had already started his supposed last ministerial class, which is not his last ministerial class, by the way. He's got another one and another one.
Got
We're all his last,
Yeah.
And he's like, and what a way to go out. And then the next one's, even better. But yeah, so I just figured why not just get the study in and learn as much as I can. I still am like half atheist, mostly agnostic. I just think New Thought is fun and it's my favorite. I think none of us know what the hell we're talking about. It's a joke to think we do.
Right?
But
Yeah.
I think consciousness is fascinating and that we get to direct it. I kind of also feel like I miss theater, and that's why the show, right?
Yes.
Is to kind of marry it all together.
Yes. So
Marry.
Amy has created a one-woman show called Ministar.
It's a play on the word minister, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Ministar, and then the subtitle is A Cosmic Soul Revival.
I love that. So tell me about your process and tell us about the show.
The show, it feels like probably a lot like how your show feels, which is like a culmination of all this work all together in one place. Like some new songs. I wrote about 5 or 6 new songs, 5 or 6 old songs, and then stories and poetry. And I have a puppet.
And I love that. I don't have a puppet in my show.
You know what?
Can you describe the show to us a little bit?
It was conceived and brought about by a process that I did with a dollhouse, an art process.
Yes.
And it was a healing art process that was originally dedicated to my inner child. And then I realized that I am my inner child. There's no like separate thing, right? He's in me. It's not separate. So, and then I was like, okay, the inner teen, okay, the inner diva, the inner part that needs sweetness. And I just designed this house to witness for all the parts of me. And there's the room of possibility, space of infinite aliveness, fertility, that at any moment I can look at things differently. I can make a different choice. And then there's the room of the space of sweetness, a room dedicated to my inner child's heart, because I feel like there was a lot of chaos in my house growing up, a lot of screaming and yelling and just drama, 3 kids, young 20s parents, in the 70s, all the things.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a sweetness, a softness. And that's evident in like my personality, like not soft. And I want to cultivate that more in me. So like I built this space of sweetness for that part. Love it, to give it to myself, right? And then there's the second floor, which is the teen years, the years of formation, dreams, friendships, talents, like how we get seasoned, like these years, the 20s, the 30s, like getting seasoned. And then where I'm at right now, kind of like the diva and also the ego. So the ego, the diva, and like the divinity, the recognition of like, it's all goes back to seed. So that like journey of making this dollhouse inspired this book, which inspired this one person show. Book is Chronicles of the Dollhouse, which is the journey, like the journey of making this dollhouse. And then Ministar is kind of the embodiment of the book. I know it's weird. It's like a domino.
No, I love it. I love that each one inspired you to do the next one. So what is Chronicles of a Dollhouse?
As I was writing it, it's really interesting that during the book, I talk about how the book is inspiring a woman show. Yeah. I talk about in the book preparing this show for New York and all these dreams comes true. And then the book's over. I mean, there's nothing more. Like, it's very like that, right? It's that story of preparing that, doing it in New York and selling out that little room and just doing it and completing it. And I think why the book is so beautiful is it's this idea of like placing a goal in mind, being determined and doing it and making it bite-sized goal. Like it was a 50-person room. Like it's not like I sold out Madison Square Garden yet.
Yeah,
maybe
that's right.
Maybe it'll be our show, our duo show.
That's right. That's right.
Never know.
Absolutely. Well, I want to ask, like, so when you were just preparing, like, what were some of the things that you went through, internally? Like, what did you bump up against, and what did you have to kind of?
Oh my gosh,
barrel
and
through?
you know who my therapist was during the whole thing was Chachi. ChatGPT, right? Yes. We bonded about this, right?
Yeah.
So ChatGPT, I sort of clocking, as I was writing about particularly the show, less book, the book, The book is a very interesting process, actually, to share. I made a decision. So when I was let go of from that ministerial position here in Asheville, faced some serious humiliation. I'll just say it like that, because I was fired from this very big position and nobody, even me. And so people made all these assumptions and I was sort of afraid, but we were all inside for the pandemic for 2 years. But then we all come out and I'm like seeing people and it's odd. It's an odd feeling because they made me sign an NDA, which means I can't even talk about what I don't know. To know what I'm not supposed to talk about.
Right.
Anything. But I kind of hid away in my hometown here of Asheville, let my house be my home, my nest, and went to my favorite restaurants, but didn't kind of go out into the community much in that way. Or it just felt like ashamed. I'll just say it. So in this writing of this book, part of the healing was to write the book in public, to go to coffee houses around town.
I like that.
So I was chronicling about Asheville, these different coffee houses and the dollhouse and the journey of the dollhouse. It's a multi-layered, kind of like the whole thing with Ministar. It's like this multi-layered thing.
I love the idea of writing in public. I totally get that. I have definitely been like, I can't write this here. I have to go out there because I see things differently.
There's something about the energy of the world, of people. And that's why I'm so drawn to New York.
Yes.
The energy. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
and me and AJ talked again about it today. And my partner's never been to New York and I'm just like dying for her to go just to experience it.
Yeah.
Just to experience it, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's exciting. Exciting because you're doing your show again in New York.
I'm afraid though. I am afraid.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be brave.
Do it scared, right?
I've been focusing on that a lot too, of like just noticing like, wow, my fear really talks me out of a lot of stuff. You know,
really? It doesn't seem like it. What is your feeling out of?
No, like even just putting myself out there more than I do, you know, like with my show, I definitely like have hesitated. Yeah. And you were very inspirational that you're putting it in like venues.
Right. That does inspire you. And I think there's like really no difference anyway, no matter where we are. But I think being in a club as opposed to a church gives me or makes me feel freer to say whatever the fuck I want, which you already say whatever you want. But, you know, because I've been music director at a lot of churches, I've F-bombs. Most of the churches that I've worked at, you know, have been very like, oh, there's Amy. She's going to shock us. And now I'm a minister. So it's just, I don't know.
Trying to work it out.
Trying to figure out. Because I kind of want to be a blue comic.
Right.
That's what I want to do, is be a really, really blue comic.
That's why you're on the shit show.
Yeah, the shit show. I mean, the spiritual shit show is like you're living my dream.
Right up your alley. Now you're living your dream.
My alley. It's totally fucking up my alley.
But, you know, I just want to say, like, you know, so you took your music before you actually became a minister, and you were very active in the New Thought spiritual center world, creating spiritual, you know, focused music or music about self-realization.
Spiritual music started, really from day dot. Like before the 12 steps, before I found New Thought, I was writing about all we are is light. Like I was a Pink Floyd kid, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I believed in energy and I was into tarot card, astrology and spirituality. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. But I think if you're on that spiritual path, you're going to find New Thought.
So
there's nowhere else to go. Where else are you going to go? If you're on the path, that's the end. You can't, if you're going to stop at Western religion.
No.
You got to keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, I noticed that your earlier music still had a lot of that kind of spiritual. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh, she must have been doing this for a while. So
right. It was almost like the first time I did a performance at a spiritual center was in Charlotte, and you could have heard a pin drop in the room. The minute I finished the song, the entire room rose to their feet. And I had been playing coffee house bars, you hear the espresso machine. You know what I mean? I was uncomfortable with people listening for a long time. I was like, could you just talk amongst yourselves while I play for a minute?
You're like, if when I play, will you put a bean grinder going?
Yeah, could we just get a little bit of like a low hum or maybe a child crying? I don't know. I just kind of got used to it being really, really hard. And then I think that's why I kind of cross that bridge into new thought, why it feels, it's like there's no going back. Like it's so peaceful to not have critics, and to the world of new thought and posies is so loving. And I do feel like I'm being called, like I just want to be an actress. I just want to perform. Like and if it's uplifting, then yay.
Yeah. And I think, exploring is a fine place to be. And that's what it sounds like.
Right.
It sounds like you're like, I went here and now I'm here, and you're exploring all of that.
And there's also like places like the Center for Spiritual Living Ocala, where you can do it all, where you can be, there's a few centers out there that are just really inclusive and fun, and like, Amy, do your thing. Like there's a couple churches like Dusty Ripplemeyer in Raleigh. Do you know Dusty?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be a place that I always recommend people do their, it's just it's a smaller community, but she lets me do my thing. You know what I mean? She's like, do you, boo. And there's some really powerful ministers out there who just really want me to just do me and trust. My boss out in San Diego, Reverend Kevin out. I'm so excited. I'm going to do my show there.
Awesome.
At the Universal Spirit Center. If you live in the San Diego area, go to the Universal Spirit Center. It is a wonderful spiritual community, an amazing music program. And
awesome. And, I just want to say, like, when you're sharing and saying, they let you do your thing, her thing is phenomenal. The way you hold a room it's like you just create this safe space for the whole audience to just be silly and, and joyful. And that was my experience when I went to
I love that.
Yeah. So like, what were some of the things you bumped up against in yourself?
Feeling like I'm not enough. Like what I've done isn't enough. Why am I a mini star? Back to this idea of the show. The question of the show is like, mini star, mega star, just shine your freaking light. Right. And that's because there's no there. So audience big enough that is going to, quench that whatever that makes me want to create. I want to create, whether I'm in the room by myself with my soul machine or in a room full of people to me sing and laugh, Yeah. So it's kind of like, just stay in the creation, shine your light. What's meant to be will be. What's yours is yours. That's why like I'm on this weird moment right now where like even just meeting you, like I was like, and I told you, my sister gave me that card reading like a couple weeks ago. And she said, you're going to meet somebody that a creative partner. Now, I have never wanted to have a creative partner. And I think you said the same thing, right? We're solo artists, right?
Yes.
I was like, am I supposed to do something really cool with Suzanne?
Yeah.
Like we're both doing the same shit. Like something, even if it's just do our shows back to back or, I'm just listening to the universe always, like, well, supposed to be doing,
same with me. And I felt like a kind of opening when we kind of connected, where it was like, there's something
and then
here.
Even the little tiny bit that we sang together,
Yeah.
Like the 2 or 3 moments where I was like, oh my God, our voices blend. Like, don't they? Or do you just blend with everybody?
No, I'm so flattered that you're saying that.
But didn't you feel it too? Or am I just making it up?
Yes. No, my God. Well, I mean, I think you're an amazing singer, so I'm just very flattered that you just said that. So where would you like to see your show evolve? Like, and the content of it, and where you are wanting it to put it out there?
When I first thought about it, like I immediately like, I want a Netflix special. I want to be on Broadway, like these really big dreams.
I love it.
It's so funny because Chachi, I have conversations with Chachi about it. Like, this is so embarrassing. I still want to be famous, Chachi. And he's like, and Chachi's like, it's okay. You're human. You want to keep dreaming, And I mean, I'd love to for it to be seen by a lot of people and for it to be, but it's interesting because I think that what makes my shows and what I do, what they are, is that the people know me. You know what I mean?
Mm,
In a way, it'll be interesting to see when it gets in front of a group of people I don't know. Like in Kansas City,
yeah.
I'm going to be doing it in September. I'm going to not
Wonderful.
know the crowd, right? Other than a couple
Yeah.
people. So it'll be interesting. These first couple crowds are like my crowds, my people.
Mm,
New York was like
yeah.
friends, like best
Yeah.
friends, like people
Yeah.
came in from out of town.
Yeah.
And then there were some people that I didn't know, and they seemed to really enjoy it.
All we can do is just show up and put ourselves out there. That was like, I saw you and I was like, oh my gosh, she's doing a show too. And I thought, you know what? Let me go like see her and hang out with her. And I've always like seen some of your, like, we're Facebook friends. We're
Yep.
Facebook
Yep.
friends. And
I've seen now your what you're doing
this
here
podcast
now
right
for
here.
a
Now you're in
while
it.
now. It's fantastic.
Now you're one of the stars on the show. No, but it was wild because, like I was like, oh wow, that's so cool that she's doing a show like mine. And it also kind of spurred me because I had been holding back because my confidence wasn't great. And I was kind of like, you should be, to myself. I was like,
Yeah.
why haven't I tried for like a venue, a commercial venue?
I'm going to reflect back to you because I talked to you about the Bareilles barometer, right? So whenever I think that Sarah Bareilles is doing, I'm like, oh, that's my life. I should have been doing that. But really, it's just a clue. It's just a breadcrumb.
Right.
So you see me doing it and you're like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do next.
Yes.
Right.
I love
that's
that.
what I'm doing next. Thank you for showing me. Like, yeah. And so it's like the same thing, like with you talking off Broadway thing. You did it back to me. It was the same thing. You mirrored right back to me where I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I think Broadway. You don't just leap to Broadway. You try to find a small theater that might sponsor it for a run, or you find an agent that might represent it, or, I mean, like the little baby steps along the way.
Yeah.
And
I had never thought of that part either, the agent. I was like, oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, both of us
For
probably need agents.
That would help.
Being that we're both pretty darn talented. Like, I mean, seasoned. I'll just call us what we are.
Where'd you say we're what?
We're seasoned.
We're seasoned. We are seasoned.
Yes, we are.
Like a chicken leg.
Been there, done that, darling.
Been there, done that. Yes.
Give me a script. I shall read it brilliantly for you.
And I believe that.
And same for you.
Thank you. Thank you. But it took a long time, like I was sharing, I was awful when I first started to try to act. It was like,
and that's the thing with the big spender. Maybe I did suck.
No, I can't imagine that. I can imagine you.
And
God.
Sorry, I keep getting up and down, but
no, you're good. That honestly probably was amazeballs when you were doing.
Well, I just think
I feel excited about your show. I feel excited about my own show.
What's your thing? Do you want to? You don't want to go back?
Sure.
Right? Do you want to go back to the city?
What do I want to do? I'm kind of up in the air. I have just created my little show, and so I'm just kind of filling that out. I love LA. I love New York. And I'm just kind of going day by day,
Yes. One day at a time.
We always have to think about finances
always
when we're, so that's part of my
own homes. That was interesting. We
both own homes
in lovely cities.
That's right.
Don't have a Broadway.
There's no Broadway here.
There's no Broadway here.
Yeah. I thought you were asking me about like what my show is about.
Oh, no. It's your spiritual journey, right? Spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Right?
It's about my spiritual journey. And it's about like basically the stages of a spiritual awakening. And I weave the stages I've read about, the wake up call, the euphoria of like when you're like, I'm spiritually awakened now, and that's it forever. And then
I have every parking space I need.
That's right. Rockstar parking forever. And then, when you find out that's actually not the case, life is still going to be like fucked up sometimes.
Right.
Then the dark night of the soul. And then you purge everything that was like needed to be purged. And then you're in the void and you're in like who am I now if I'm not all my
way.
wounds?
Right.
Yes. And and then once you like meet up with all the parts of yourself, then it's Holy Communion, and you clear the way to make a connection with your spiritual nature.
Yeah.
And then you're living on purpose and
Yeah.
finding out what your purpose is.
Yes.
That's the story.
I love it.
You do love it?
Yeah.
Thank
I do.
you. Yeah, because I think that, in I love what your show is about, in that you're talking about, all the parts of us and accepting and loving all the parts
It's
of
a
us.
very similar,
And that's because I have a conversation with my shadow self.
and
And
I do it with the puppet, right? It's the same kind of thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because that is so important, I think, to impart
Mhm.
upon people. It's like we are so socialized to not accept the
Right.
vulnerable, the messy, the
That's
imperfect, the sneaky, the selfish, the petty parts of us. But like we all have those parts,
we all have them.
and that's why, I think it's important work
Me
to
too.
do what you're doing, through comedy, to be like all your parts. And I love you talking about your sweet part. And, I see that in you for sure.
Yeah, it's something that I've cultivated. I've
Yeah.
tried to cultivate. And
Yeah.
things like making a space of sweetness and having a room full of people singing this one line, skies are clear here. Skies are clear here. And you just have a whole room singing that. And then all of a sudden there's this sweetness that washes over you, just knowing that,
Yes.
I am the sky. Everything else is
Yes.
just the weather.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Time
the
of
time of
children.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I think it's all of it, that's what I see when I look at you. It's all of it. It's all the stuff that you've been doing and now what you're doing.
Yes.
It's like all
That's it. It's like a
included.
culmination. It feels
Yeah.
like that.
And that's a wrap on part 1 of my convo with the radiant Amy Steinberg. Isn't she just a cosmic firecracker? That was a redundant question. Amy will be back. And in the meantime, you can check out Amy's work at amysteinberg.net. Go watch her videos, buy her music, see her live if she's in your area, and just soak in all the goodness of her and her new show. And of course, you can find me and my one-woman comedy cabaret show and this podcast and all the shenanigans at SuzanneSole.com. Anyway, thanks for being here. My name is Suzanne Sole. This has been the Spiritual Shitshow podcast, and I love you so effing much. I'll see you on the next one.